Right now, though, National Grief Awareness Day is coming up on August 30th to raise awareness on how people cope with loss and then how others around them can support them.
We're glad to have on our Mindful Monday the Executive Director of Calm Waters, Erin Engelke, talking with us about just the stages of grief. And, you know, it doesn't discriminate. At some point in time, we all go through grief. And so first, just kind of talk about what really words should people kind of stay away from using in trying to help others who are in the grieving process?
Yeah, I think we're all very well intentioned and we want to support our loved one when they've experienced a loss, but oftentimes the words that come out of our mouth are not super helpful. And I just want to touch on some of those because I think
what's
it's
an
important.
example of something not to say?
So one that is really important is to avoid saying at least. You know, so if somebody, let's say their spouse has died, instead of saying, well, at least he lived a long life and, you know, he's in heaven now, or, you know, something like that.
That's not comforting, is it?
That's not comforting because they're still trying to wrestle with the fact that their spouse or partner is no longer with them. So avoid saying at least.
Okay, and that's a better way to say it. I'm here to listen.
I'm here to listen.
Thank you for sharing that, maybe.
How are you feeling? Yes. And talk to me about your loved one too.
Right, I've often heard when it comes, it's really called like emotional responding, that you don't give advice.
Right.
Well, your husband passed away. When mine did, this is what I did, and this is what you need to be doing now.
Right.
Or don't be a martyr. We were talking about, like, Lacey, you're tired. I got up 30 minutes before you did. I mean, that's not comforting
It's
to
not
people.
at all, no.
And the other thing I've always heard is just don't neglect the hurt.
Yeah.
Because that's really, you know, if someone loses their spouse, you want to really kind of hurt with them. You kind of share that grieving process.
For sure, and allow them to feel what they need to feel.
So that's what you don't do. What do you do then?
Yeah, so you just sit with them. Sometimes you don't have to say anything. You can simply just be present and just acknowledge that they are going through a tough time, but you don't need to offer to help. There's quite literally nothing you can do to help them emotionally outside of just being there to love on them and support them.
But you could say the wrong thing and it actually does make it worse.
Exactly.
What are the stages of grief?
So this is an interesting fact. There are no stages of grief.
Okay.
So we certainly at Calm Waters, we are experts on this topic, and we see individuals who experience grief in a lot of different ways. So, you know, I think in earlier years, people did think that there were different stages, acceptance, anger, etc. But nobody just feels that for one moment and then moves on to the next.
Right, yeah.
So people experience grief in a multitude of ways, and everybody's journey looks very, very different.
People need to know that you care. I mean,
Yes,
you know, listen
absolutely.
and let them know, as I heard you say, this is how I felt for you.
Yes.
Erin, thanks for sharing this.
Sure.
We really
Thanks for
appreciate it
having me.
today.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Erin.